Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, my name is Sasha and this is Love Builds Up Cross. Today we're going to be making this a dinky little cute shaker box using the latest Tonic Studios Designer's Choice release. So before we get started, I just want to apologize for my dirty hands. They're not actually dirty, it's shimmer powders that have been stuck on there. So for all those of you who thought I had murdered someone, I have not. Okay, so anyway, look at this beautiful design. How stunning is that? It's got like this beautiful design, intricate design. I don't even know how to describe it, but these boxes are so cute. So you can make a tulip shaped box or a lotus shaped box. So Tonic sent me this so that I could review it and make some things to send to them back. So I did that, but then my makes weren't shown, probably maybe because they were not boxes. But in my defense, I did make this box, but I didn't send it because I thought so many people on the design team were going to make boxes and then they were going to make shaker boxes, but actually no one made a shaker box, so I probably should have sent it in. But I didn't send it in. Instead, I sent in my cards, which were not shown, so I'll show you here. I made this little shaker card to match the shaker box that we're going to do today. So it's like a lotus flower opening up. I just love this card so much. And then I made this mixed media easel card as well with the lotus idea. I guess I love the lotus flower. Okay, so just the shape of an opening up flower. And then I made this using chalk mousse and glitter, but I'm going to do a tutorial for this because this picture really doesn't do this card justice. So anyway, let's get to making our little shaker. So what I did is I cut out the big with the big die, the base die, I guess that's what you would call it, not the big die, the base die. I already cut out two basic shapes, and then I cut out using that same die but without the flaps two of these other shapes, and I'm going to ink blend on those and then cut them again with the intricate dies, because that's how we're going to create a frame to go around our acetate. So then you're obviously also going to need some acetate shapes, and I cut them just like the other ones without the flaps. I cut them just like that. Okay, so let's go through some of the other things that we're going to need besides the dyes. So I've got my Distress Oxides there in Salty Ocean, Salvage Patina, Quiche Flamingo, and Spice Marmalade. Then you're going to need your blending brushes. Mine are a bit grim, but never mind. And then some sequins. I've gone for these blue hearts and these I think they're called candied hearts. And then you're also going to need Cloud9 Dream Drops, or any of the lighter colors of the Dream Drops will do, because we're going to make our own pearly cardstock or glaze to go over our Distress Oxides. Okay, so now we are going to start our ink blending process. I love ink blending with Distress Oxides. I hated ink blending until I tried Distress Oxides, and now I just love it because Distress Oxides are so forgiving. They're like a loving wife. Or a really loyal side chick. It depends which side of the coin you are on. Okay, so anyway, I will keep my jokes to a minimum. So I'm just ink blending with Salty Ocean at the bottom and then some Salvage Patina at the top just to create a gradient. And guys, this part really didn't need to be as perfect as I was making it, because it is pretty much going to be covered up by the sequence. So, you know... If you're like me and you just like doing things perfectly, even though they're going to be covered up, then go ahead and try and ink blend it as perfectly as you can. Then when that's done, you're going to grab your Cloud9 and plonk it on and then just rub it out. You're just going to smooth it out. This works better if the Distress Oxides are dry, but I clearly didn't wait because, you know, I was not thinking on this day. I must have been tired and I was just rushing to get it done. So now I've got look at that beautiful glaze. It's just so beautiful and shimmery, and it brings back that vibrance to the distress oxides, because when they dry they're quite chalky. So I went ahead and I ink blended the other two bits as well, which we're going to cut using that dye, with spiced marmalade at the bottom and quiche flamenco at the top. I haven't added any Cloud9 dream drops to this because we are going to add it after so that it doesn't get stuck to our dye. So you're going to go ahead and layer your dye like this on top of your card and send that through your die cutting machine. You should get back a piece that looks like this. How it has managed to stay intact, I have no idea. Honestly, this is like holding out better than most people's marriages during quarantine. All right, now I'm going to keep the jokes minimal, I promise. So anyway, you've now got your frame and you're going to pop that over acetate, and then now you're going to take out all the bits that you don't need. I've kept some in there, like the hearts, because I was going to do some paper piecing, but then I decided to let the sequins shine through, so I've just left a few of the hearts, and I'm going to now do the other frame as well the exact same way. You can keep those pieces for another card because I think they'll make such a brilliant paper pieced card. So once that's done, I'm just adding glue to the frames and I'm going to stick them on my acetate, but I added a bit, like one frame, and then I put it to the side so that it gets a bit tacky to hopefully avoid some glue seepage. But then, with glue seepage, it works some days it just wants to come through. So it came through, okay, but it doesn't matter anyway. So I'm just going to do that to the other acetate bit because we're going to have two acetate covers. Yeah, so add some glue. Probably don't add as much as I do. Maybe that's why I get seepage. I add too much glue. But anyway, nonetheless, when you've added your frame, you're going to add your inside bit to the frame, and then just taking a piece of paper there and using the corner edge to clean off some of the seepage of the glue. So once your covers are dry, you're just going to get your main base piece and just check that everything fits nicely. I don't know why that's so badly off screen, but then it does fit nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and add some foam tape to all of that lovely area. This bit did take a while, even though I'm going to fast forward it and it's going to look like it was so quick. But what you need to do is cut your foam tape into strips, into tiny little strips, and then just go around the edges, adding it to your flower, to your cover, to your shaker cover, sorry, not your flower, to your shaker cover. And just be patient with this because you don't want to leave any holes for your sequins to go through. So once that's done, I'm just grabbing my sequins, and like I told you, it's so easy to assemble this base piece. You just take the two bottom flaps, the square ones, and stick them together in the opposite direction, like one on the left, one on the right, or one at the top, one at the bottom, whichever way you do it. So I am just making a mess there with my sequins. That was not intentional, but I'm just adding. These sequins are actually the reason why I went with this color scheme, the blue ones, because I'm trying to use up my products that I haven't used so that I can make space for more products that I'm going to buy. It's a really great system. Use up everything else so that you can get new things. So because these sequins stick to the acetate, I'm just using my self-made anti-static bag there. It just has corn flour in some tights, but it does the job. So I'm peeling off the release tape, and then I'm just going to pop some adhesive, liquid adhesive, and then pop it over the top of my little flap. So yay, we have one complete side, and I'm going to do the other side the exact same way, making sure that you remove any excess glue, but I think that's foam tape, so I'll trim it off later. And then I am going to do this other bit off camera, and I'll come back to you. So now our box is pretty much complete. Just look at that. Oh my goodness. I should have done slow motion here so that you can see the sequins shaking, but I didn't, sorry. So I'm just saying here that you can still add more pieces if you wanted a more paper pieced look, but I'm not going to. I just wanted the sequins to really shine, to be the star of this little shaker. So I'm not going to add any more paper piecing. So you can see one side is more vibrant than the other. So this is because I took a paintbrush and I added the Cloud9 to it. So I'm just going to show you quickly on this side how I did it. So you just grab a paintbrush. This is just a flat edge paintbrush, but you can use pretty much any paintbrush, and then just blob on your Cloud9 or any light dream drops. So you can use the other lighter colors, and then you're just going to coat it. You can also use crystal glaze. No, distress glaze, I think it's called, but I don't have that because I am a cheapskate. And this is how you make pearlescent cardstock if you're a cheapskate and you can't buy real cardstock. Well, it's close enough. It's not exactly like pearlescent cardstock, but it's close enough. So you can see there how careful I was being. So you have to be careful so that you don't get any of that on your acetate. So that dries like almost immediately. You don't even have to wait for it to dry. It dries immediately. As you can see there, I just finished doing it and then it's dry. I can touch it immediately. So our box is pretty much done. We just have to add a closing mechanism. Because of where the acetate is, we can't close it the normal way. So I'm just grabbing my hot glue gun and some ribbon. And then what we're going to do is snip off those flaps there so that we can create a ring, just like a napkin ring. Maybe you can do a napkin ring with these. I didn't actually think of that, but it's looking like you can. So once you've glued the top bit together, you're just going to add some glue to the edges of that ring bit and hold it down so that it adheres. I know this is not the best way to do it, but this way works as well because it does adhere. And once it's adhered, you can see now your box is opening and is functioning. So I'm just going to get a ribbon. This ribbon is about 19 inches, I think. Yeah, 19 inches. And then I'm cutting it in half. I think this ribbon is from Crafter's Companion, but I could be wrong. I don't know where I got it from, so I probably won't link it in the description. I'm sorry. But just get some ribbon, okay? And then just put a bit of hot glue and press it over that ribbon, and that should do it. That should do it. Then now your box, you can now tie a bow on your box. My bows are like really preschool, so I am going to save you all the pain of watching me suffer how to tie a bow and just show you something that is complete. So there you go. That's my attempt at a bow. I probably should have ironed the ribbon, I think, because the ribbon is a bit temperamental. It's just not behaving. But yeah, so you can see you can close your box up this way and it opens this way. You can see it's very functional and it's still cute. So you've got your shaker box that closes perfectly. So you can use this for favors, like party favors. Let's say you're having a grown-up party, but then you wanted to have a kiddie vibe. I don't know. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know if you'd like tutorials for any of the cards that I made for this release, and also please follow me on Instagram and check out the website at www.lovebuildsupcrafts.com.